So this is Adrian Chase, and he's Prometheus. And because of the fact that Ali has killed and may or may not have enjoyed it, he broke our arrow. And our arrow has failed this city. Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing Episode 18 of Arrow, Disbanded. Oliver's decision to call in the Bratva for taking down Prometheus surprises Diggle and Felicity. Meanwhile, Felicity makes the shocking discovery at Helix. All in all, last week we had a pretty grimdark episode, but it wasn't exactly my idea of a good grimdark episode. We had to introduce a whole lot of new stuff to give Prometheus the ammunition he needs to get into Ollie's head, when, let's be honest, there's more than enough evidence that Oliver is both not always the best of guys and maybe a bit of a hypocrite. So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time. So just to recap, when Vigilante uses guns and kills people, that's bad, because he's an antagonist. When Wild Dog uses guns and kills people and is an antagonist, it's bad too. But when him and Diggle work together and use guns to kill people, because, I mean, that's what guns do, right? That's okay, because they're protagonists. And, of course, you know what? The entire thing is ridiculous. We bring in Anatoly, who is a totally awesome character, and I have to say, I love, because he was right, and when Arrow looks in the mirror, he can't stand to see himself anymore. But you see, we have this problem. Team Arrow is more than just Arrow. Team Arrow is really an entire group of people who are superheroes in their own right, whether they want to be or not. And I was a little annoyed that Mr. Terrific didn't have better equipment on hand. I mean, really, he built those T-spheres. What right does Ollie have to lock them up? In fact, I have to question how much of all of their equipment Ollie really has a right to say, nope, no more to. But alright, the main thrust of this is that Prometheus has to die. And so Ollie's bringing in the Bratva to do it. Why? Because he thinks having criminals do things is better than having heroes do it. Yeah, I think that's a big old win for Prometheus. Prometheus has totally gotten inside his head so much that he's throwing away all of his character growth for the last couple of years, entirely based on the fact that, I don't know, I guess that it doesn't even make much sense to me. Talia and Prometheus can say all they want that killing is wrong and that he enjoyed it. But at the end of the day, police officers kill when they have to. Why? Because sometimes the bad guys don't give you a choice. And you know what? I understand that some people have superpowers or super tech that allows them to be a step above that and be able to say, I don't have to kill. I can stun with my T-sphere. Or I'm Batman and can knock people out, although I question how good that is. Or maybe even I'm a tech genius and as such I can use my tech as a weapon without actually getting into physical confrontations. And all those are great heroes. But some heroes don't have that option. Some heroes' superpower is the ability to fire a bow, the ability to sneak, the ability to fight. And those heroes can only go so far. I don't want to see the Arrow running around killing people willy-nilly. Well, okay, maybe a little. I really did like Season 1, to be honest. But at the same time, I don't want him to sit there and say, oh my god, no one can ever kill in my city. But at the same time, bringing in the Bratva just smells of desperation, both on Ollie's part and the writers. Diggle said it best. When Oliver comes to his senses, he was going to regret this. But then we get to see what the team looks like without the Arrow. And you know what? I'm pretty damn impressed with their resourcefulness. Let's really take a look at the ones that were here, because, in all honesty, it was these three. Not all of them. See, this was the new Black Canary, who they keep saying doesn't have a code name, but she totally does. It was Wild Dog, and it was Mr. Terrific. The others were busy worrying about Oliver. They were the ones that were worrying about the actual crime. And as such, we have an interesting look here at how far everyone's come since the beginning of the season. And the answer is actually pretty damn far, because when you look at it, what we have here is these guys pulling off pretty much the impossible. Tracking down Chase by using the T-sphere, by trying to intercept Anatoly and his men. Which I guess should lead us to talking about Helix, but I think I'll save that for the end of the review. Right now, like I said, we've come a long way since these two left the team. And one of the best lines is why Quentin won't let Wild Dog back into the building. because he said something about busting a cap in someone's ass. But if I'm following the main team, then the true problem is this episode that Anatoly won't leave. The Bratva came to kill Prometheus, but at the end of the day, the Bratva made a deal, and once the deal is made, they wanted what they were given. It's kind of reminiscent of other deals with the devil that we've seen. But at the end of the day, in order to get Chase, they're going to need some form of backup, because the Prometheus persona has lived its course. Does he even need it anymore? Well, again, that goes back into the Helix stuff. So, let's talk about how they take down Bratva. And I cannot stress enough the fact that 3 of them pulled guns on Bratva and shot them. Okay, sorry. Hypocrisies aside. It was actually a pretty decent plan, especially Oliver shooting the alarm system. Of course, they were down their 2 tech people for this, but at least they had all their costumes back. And that leads me to my question of the night, and it has to do with not just Arrow, but superheroes in general. How do you feel when TV shows and movies don't put them in their costumes? I mean, I understand that the costume is a little outlandish and a little outdated, but it's a genre convention in my mind. Do you think that the Arrow running around in a black mask is better? Or, well, just a hoodie like he did on Smallville? Or do you like it better when they're more up-to-date with their classic designs? Because let's be honest, Vigilante looks like he came right out of the comic book. So does Arrow from time to time. But okay, with that we're going to talk about Helix, and breaking into Cord Industries, and what in the heck has been going on with Felicity Smoke, the person who took down Prometheus. Now, up until now, we've had this little thing where we don't know exactly what Helix is. It's a hacker group, they obviously know more about what's going on. In this episode, we needed to have them hack into something of Ted Kord's, and because of that, they needed access to Cord Industries. So, they revealed that they knew that Mr. Terrific and Overwatch were Mr. Terrific and Overwatch. It's a rather interesting concept. You know, almost like every season on Arrow when the villains learn the secret identity of our heroes. I mean, realistically, it's just like a theme of this show at this point. There's no such thing as secret identities. But as we ratchet towards the season finale, we have the fact that the Arrow has put together his team, and his team is doing well. Helix is definitely going to be a problem, but whether it's the main one or not is left to be seen. For now, I just want to say, I'm enjoying this. However, it's also about time for me to ask you to like, share, and subscribe to my channel to help me build this community. And as we do, we can all talk and discuss all the different things that we like and dislike about these shows as we walk through the heart of the stories we tell. Thanks for watching and have a good night.